Hey everyone, welcome back to Whispering Reapers. Tonight, I'm sharing 5 stories that revolve around unsettling text conversations with equally disturbing backstories. Each scenario unravels through a series of messages that appear normal at first, but reveal a darkness lurking just beneath the surface. Let's jump straight into these twisted tales. Teresa had always loved staying up late, scrolling through social media and chatting with her closest friends on her phone. Work kept her busy during the day, so nighttime was her usual space to unwind. One Saturday night, she received an unexpected text from a number she didn't recognize. At first, she let it be. Unknown numbers were often spam or wrong contacts. But the phone buzzed again. She checked and saw the message, "Unknown. Hey, can you help me? I'm lost." She tilted her head, puzzled. For a second she wondered if it was a friend playing a prank. She wrote back, "Teresa, who is this? You sure you have the right number? Unknown. Please. I'm scared. It's so dark out here, I don't know where I am." An uneasy feeling washed over Teresa. It was nearly midnight, and if someone truly needed help, ignoring them might be cruel, but something also felt off. She asked, "Teresa, okay, I don't recognize your number. How did you get mine? Unknown. You're on Charlie's contact list. I just borrowed the phone, please. It's so cold." Teresa's heart pounded. Charlie was a friend who had gone missing 3 months earlier. The police had opened a file, but there had been no solid leads. Teresa's hands trembled as she typed. "Teresa, Charlie, wait, where is Charlie? Who are you? Unknown. He's not here anymore. Do you know Riverside Park? I think I'm in the south end near the overgrown statues. There's an old fountain, hurry." A chill traced along Teresa's spine. The mention of Riverside Park was particularly unsettling. It was a massive, poorly lit area known for its unkempt corners. She thought maybe the person truly was in trouble and had found Charlie's phone. Wild thoughts raced in her head. She tried calling the number, but no one picked up. Instead, more messages arrived. "Unknown. I see shapes moving between the trees. My battery is low. Please hurry or tell the cops." Teresa hesitated. She wasn't about to rush alone into a deserted park at midnight, but guilt pressed on her. She texted, "Teresa, I'll call the police. Stay put, keep your phone on, and let me know if you see anything more. Unknown. Please don't bring the cops. I can't. He'll get mad. I just need you to help me find a way out. Are you coming?" That line, "he'll get mad," set off alarm bells. Who was he? Fear gnawed at Teresa. She quickly texted a friend who lived nearby named Jamie, explaining the situation. Jamie said they should both drive to the park and at least observe from a distance. Teresa agreed. Within minutes, she and Jamie were on the road toward the south entrance of Riverside Park. Along the way, more messages buzzed in. "Unknown. I see a statue with a broken wing. I think it's an angel, but it's so dark. Something's not right. I keep hearing footsteps." "Unknown. Battery 2%. If you're coming, come now." "Teresa, we're almost there. Just hold on. Are you alone?" No response. The phone stayed silent. Teresa felt her stomach twist in knots. Upon arriving, the park looked desolate. The streetlights were dim, offering little visibility. Wind rustled through the trees. Jamie and Teresa parked near a rusted gate close to the old statue area. They stepped out cautiously, flashlights in hand, scanning the gloom. Each step on the gravel felt deafening in the nighttime hush. They ventured deeper into the park, searching for any sign of life. Broken statues of angels stood in partial ruin, their once beautiful features marred by moss and vandalism. Weeds sprouted around the bases. The atmosphere reeked of neglect. At the heart of the row of statues, they spotted an old fountain, water long dried up. Teresa whispered, "Teresa, hello? Is anyone here?" No answer. The only noise was the wind through leaves. Jamie tried calling the unknown number, but it went straight to voicemail. They circled around, shining their flashlights. Their beams revealed footprints in the soft dirt, fresh ones heading off behind the fountain. Nervously, they followed, hearts pounding. After a few more steps, they saw something shining on the ground. A phone. Jamie bent down. "Jamie." "It's off." Teresa recognized it. She couldn't be certain, but the battered case and small worn sticker of a cartoon character looked exactly like Charlie's phone. Her breaths came rapid and shallow. She picked it up, pressing buttons. No power. Then from somewhere behind them they heard a twig snap. In unison they whipped around, flashlights trembling. No one, no voice. But a presence felt near. The tension was electric, as if eyes were on them from just beyond their light. Jamie hissed, "Jamie, let's get out of here. This feels wrong. We should call the cops now." Teresa nodded, her gut twisting. They retreated quickly, half running back to the car. Once inside, Teresa dialed 911. An officer later interviewed them, took the phone as evidence, and said they'd searched the park. Over the next week, Teresa scoured the news. She never found any follow-up. No mention of a rescued person, no mention of anything suspicious found in the darkness of Riverside Park. But Charlie's phone was never returned to her, presumably locked in evidence purgatory. She couldn't shake the feeling that whomever texted her that night was in grave danger, or was leading her into a trap. Occasionally she'd get pangs of dread, wondering if he still lurked in the trees. Sometimes she woke up to imagine echoing footsteps in her mind, the sense of being watched. She changed her number a month later, unable to handle the memory of that final text. "Unknown, please hurry, he's so close, I can't." No explanation, no closure, a horrifying question mark left behind. After a time, the messages stopped, but the nightmares never did. Greg was a night manager at a 24-hour convenience store along a quiet highway. He often sat alone from midnight until dawn, scanning the security cameras, restocking shelves, and dealing with the occasional late-night traveler looking for coffee or snacks. One night, around 2 a.m., he received an unexpected text from his younger sister, Carly. "Hey, are you okay?" Greg blinked, confused. He was at the store, safe and sound. He replied, "Greg, yeah, I'm fine, just working." "Why do you ask?" Carly, "Really? Just got a text from someone with your number. It said, 'Help me, he's got a knife.'" Then it went silent. Greg's blood ran cold. He quickly checked his phone's sent messages. Nothing. He told Carly as much. "Greg, I never sent that. My phone's just been in my pocket." "Are you sure it wasn't a spoof?" Carly, "Definitely your number. The text said, 'Carly, call 911. I'm pinned in the back office.'" "Didn't you say you manage a store?" This freaked me out, so I had to ask. Alarmed, Greg peered around the convenience store. It was empty except for him. He walked to the back office door, verifying nobody was inside. The cameras showed no unusual activity, yet he felt unnerved. A phantom text? He told Carly he was fine, guessed maybe some hacker or glitch was messing with them, and tried to shrug it off. 15 minutes later, his phone vibrated. Another text from an unknown number. "Unknown. If you don't get out, you'll end up like the last one." His heart hammered. He wrote back, "Greg, who is this? This isn't funny." "Unknown. Look outside." Greg, adrenaline surging, glanced up at the security monitors. The parking lot was dimly lit, a single car fueling up. He saw no one suspicious. He stepped to the front windows, still nothing out of the ordinary. He felt vulnerable, the store's wide glass windows revealing everything inside. He locked the doors, then his phone buzzed again. "Unknown. Don't try that. See the cooler? Check behind it." What cooler? The store had several large refrigerated units for drinks, but behind them was just a locked storage closet. Nonetheless, dread pulled at him. He walked to the big beverage cooler that customers used for soda and water, and then stepped around the side. The locked storage door was there. He yanked it open. It was dark. He flicked on the light. Shelves of extra stock, cleaning supplies, and some old boxes cluttered the space. Satisfied no one was inside, he turned to leave. Then his phone chimed. "Unknown, you almost saw me, Greg." His pulse quickened. He felt as if someone was playing a twisted cat-and-mouse game. He turned in circles, scanning the area. Could there be a hidden entrance or a panel? He began to sweat. The store had been built decades ago with rumors of old crawl spaces or drainage tunnels, but he never took those stories seriously. He decided to call the police. But as he picked up his phone to dial, it buzzed with a new text. This time from Carly's number. "Carly, Greg, is that you? I'm so sorry." The weird text came again. It said the same thing. "Help me. Pinned in the back office. Are you playing a prank? Mom's worried." Confusion swirled in Greg's mind. He texted Carly back, "I promise I'm not. Call the cops if you get more. Something's off." Suddenly, the store phone rang. Greg jumped at the sound. He picked up. No voice, just heavy breathing on the other end, then a click. Tension grated on his nerves. Gripping the phone, he stepped back to the front door. A truck was pulling in. Thankful for a potential witness, Greg waited. A tall man in a baseball cap walked in, glancing around for a moment as if searching for someone. Greg felt uneasy. "Welcome. Need something?" The man grabbed a soda, lurked around the aisles, then approached the counter. Quiet night. He dropped the soda on the checkout. Greg nodded, scanning it, forced a polite small talk. The man stared at him. Then the phone in Greg's pocket buzzed. The man smirked. "Better see who that is." "Better." Greg gulped. He glanced at the new text. "Ask your customer about Rob. He loves talking about old times." Shock rippled through him. His customer, did he know something? That'll be $2.99. The man paid. Then Greg spoke impulsively. "So, you know anyone named Rob?" The man's face stiffened. A flicker of something haunted his eyes. "Don't know what you're talking about," he said, and left quickly, soda in hand, speeding off in the truck. Greg stared in confusion. Another text arrived. "This is your last warning. Get out or there will be blood." Greg was done playing. He called the police, told them someone was sending threatening messages. An officer arrived after about half an hour. During that wait, no customers came in. No more texts arrived. Greg explained everything he could. The officer searched the premises, checked behind the cooler, walked around the exterior, found nothing. It was as if the entire scenario was an elaborate hoax. The officer suggested Greg file a report. By morning, Greg ended his shift stressed and exhausted. Over the next few days, random messages continued. "Next time you'll be alone," or "Found a new way in." He gave them all to the cops, but no origin was identified. Carly received no further texts from Greg. For reasons unknown, it all went silent after a week. Greg eventually quit the night shift. Rumors swirled that the store had a dark history of break-ins or a missing colleague from years back. Some said it was an ex-employee messing with him. Greg never found a concrete answer. Yet every time his phone buzzes unexpectedly, a knot of paranoia coils in his stomach. And he wonders if that mysterious tormentor still lurks, waiting for a chance to strike again. Story 3. The Wrong Group Chat. Sharon was part of a tight-knit friend group from her college days. Even years after graduating, they had a group chat called Evergreen Crew, where they shared daily updates, memes, and random thoughts. One Friday evening, she was chilling at home when her phone dinged with a new message. "Evergreen Crew. Hey, you all see that video?" "Crazy stuff," Jennifer replied. "Which video?" Evergreen Crew responded. "Man climbing out a window. The missing hiker footage. Blood on the sill. Did you see his eyes?" Sharon frowned. That definitely wasn't from any of her friends. The group chat's name was correct, but the sender's ID read as unknown. Sharon asked, "Hello, who is this? Heavy meltdown if you have the wrong group." Jennifer chimed in, "Weird text, right?" Luke added, "I didn't send that. My phone just beeped too." Raoul said, "Same, who's the unknown?" Evergreen Crew replied, "Oh good, you're all here. Let me share the photos." A series of image thumbnails arrived. Sharon hesitated to open them. The thumbnails showed a dark, grainy shot of a man crawling out of a cabin's window, apparently at night. The second image showed footprints leading away from the cabin into the woods. The photos were disturbing, blurry and seemingly capturing a desperate escape. The man's face, partially lit by a distant flashlight, looked contorted with terror. Everyone in the chat was asking who posted the photos. The unknown user responded again, "Evergreen Crew. He left behind so much. The search party didn't find him in time. I can't wait to show you more." Sharon said, "Stop messing with us. If you found these on some true crime forum, we're not interested." The unknown user replied, "But I thought you wanted to know about it. After all, you planned the camping trip, right?" Now confusion skyrocketed. She recalled how her friend group had once planned a camping trip that never happened. It was cancelled due to scheduling conflicts. The mention of it felt personal. Jennifer asked, "We never camped, so what do you want?" The unknown user responded, "You never camped, but he did. I found his phone near the cabin. He tried texting you for help. Let me share the conversation." A screenshot of a partial conversation popped up. Indeed, it was from Sharon in the contact field. The messages read, "Sharon, timestamp 12:19 a.m. We're near the lake. Are you still stuck inside? Unknown contact. Timestamp 12:21 a.m. I'm climbing out the window. Something's outside. Please come around the back. Sharon, timestamp 12:30 a.m. Hurry, we see movement in the trees." Sharon's actual conversation history had no record of this. Sharon said, "This never happened. Those texts are faked." The unknown user said, "Truth is flexible. You were supposed to be there. You left him to face the night alone." Luke demanded, "Who are you? This is sick." The unknown user replied, "Come to Tallow Lake. You might see what he saw." Suddenly, more images arrived. A small, half-collapsed cabin near a narrow lake. Then a horrifying photo of a battered sleeping bag, stained with something dark. The entire group chat reeled. Everyone demanded the unknown user stop. The user's next message was a location pin labeled Tallow Lake, nearly 100 miles away, deep in a remote forest. Raoul threatened to call the police. The unknown responded with a cryptic voice note, "Unknown, Vo. They crawl in the dark. Don't let them smell the blood. Send help." Then heavy breathing and a scratching noise followed by a cutoff. Sharon felt dizzy with fear. Jennifer tried to lighten the mood, saying it was definitely a troll with twisted content, but nobody was reassured. Meanwhile, the unknown user kept sending texts in short bursts. "Unknown VO. He's still out there, or what's left of him. Find the phone if you dare. Eager to see you answer his final call." Luke threatened the user again. Then in an instant, the unknown user left the chat. The group was back to normal except for the horrible message chain that remained. They debated calling the authorities. Some believed it was a prank, others felt unsettled enough to want real help. Eventually, Sharon and the others decided to share everything with the local police. The police found no immediate link to a real missing person case around Tallow Lake, though they promised to pass it along to relevant jurisdictions. Days passed. The group chat fell eerily silent. No one wanted to talk about it. Sharon kept replaying the final lines from that fabricated conversation. The possibility that somewhere in some remote cabin a person might have needed help haunted her. She Googled Tallow Lake, found a few references to a small, lesser-known area with no official campsites, possibly used by off-road hikers. A week later, Jennifer texted the group that a local news snippet mentioned a hiker's phone discovered near Tallow Lake. But there was no mention of grim details or a caretaker of odd photos. The phone had no identifiable data left. This fragment of news rattled them. Did the unknown user anticipate the discovery, or was it all a coincidence? To this day, whenever the Evergreen Crew chat pings, each friend braces half expecting that user to reappear. The memory of that cryptic voice note remains lodged in Sharon's mind. Unknown. They crawl in the dark. Don't let them smell the blood. She avoided forests and isolated cabins ever since, terrified that behind every tall pine might lurk the twisted reality those text messages hinted at, waiting for them to choose a lonely night to investigate. Story 4. Emily's Never-Ending Messages. David's cousin Emily had passed away 3 years ago from an aggressive illness. She was only 27, in the prime of her life. The grief had taken a toll on the entire family. Emily's phone number had been disconnected long ago, so when David received a text from Emily's iPhone on a quiet Sunday afternoon, he felt every hair on his neck stand up. Emily's iPhone, VO. "Hey cousin, miss you so much. Are you home?" David sat there, heart pounding. Could it be a glitch or some unscrupulous person ended up with her old number? Yet the contact still displayed as Emily's iPhone, exactly as he had it saved. A swirl of sorrow and dread overcame him. He typed back hesitantly, "David, who is this? That phone belongs to Emily. Who's gone?" No reply for a nerve-wracking hour. Then, Emily's iPhone, VO. "Still me. I'm just away right now. Thought I'd check on you." David felt tears welling up. This was cruel. He typed, "David, stop. This isn't funny. That was my family member. She's deceased." Seconds later, Emily's iPhone. "I know it's hard to believe. Do you still have that old photo album we made?" The mention of a photo album stunned David. Emily and he had compiled an album of family pictures during one summer, complete with silly captions. That was private knowledge. Only David, Emily, and maybe a handful of family members knew in detail. Alarm bells rang. He demanded, "David, how do you know about that? Who told you?" "You kept it in your bottom desk drawer near your journals. Remember our trip to Lennox Lake? We took pictures by the rowboat. I wore that red jacket. You teased me for wearing it in summer." David's chest went tight. This detail was not widely known. He had an old battered red jacket photo of them. His mind reeled. Was some relative pulling an elaborate hoax? He tried calling the number. No ring, just a dead tone. Then more texts arrived, cascading one after another. "I'm lonely. It's cold here. Sometimes I see you writing about me in your journal. You wrote how you felt guilty for not visiting me more in the hospital. Don't feel guilty. I never blamed you. We had so many plans, I wish we could keep them." Panicked, David called his aunt, Emily's mother. She was as baffled as he was. She had never reassigned Emily's phone number, never messed with David's contact list. If it was a sibling or a cousin pulling a sick joke, it was going to tear the family apart. Meanwhile, the texts wouldn't stop. "I can't move on. Something keeps me tethered. Do you remember the place I died?" A hollow chill seized David. Emily had died in a hospital, so the mention of the place I died felt undeniably pointed. He mustered the nerve to reply. "Of course I remember. I was with you those last moments. Who are you? If you're Emily, prove it or let me go." A minute passed. "Then I never wanted you to see me so weak. But you stayed and you held my hand. The nurse said I had mere hours left. You told me to rest. I closed my eyes. I felt your tears on my arm." David nearly dropped his phone. He'd never told anyone that detail about tears. He wrote, hands shaky, "Why now, after 3 years?" "I couldn't get through. The signals are so faint where I am, but now there's an opening. I need your help." He stared in horror at the screen. This was insane. He was a skeptic about supernatural stuff, but the knowledge shared was too personal. He was certain no one else was present in those last hours except him and the nurse. Summoning courage. "How can I help?" "You keep the shell I gave you from our beach trip. It's in your closet in a striped box. Bring it to the willow tree at Greenfield Cemetery tomorrow at sunset. That's where my marker is. Please come alone." Greenfield Cemetery was indeed where Emily's memorial stone lay beneath a twisted old willow tree. David's mind raced. It was madness, but some inexplicable force compelled him to try anything for closure. The next evening, trembling, he took the seashell in hand and drove to the cemetery at sunset. The sky glowed a deep orange as he found the willow. Its drooping branches swayed in a gentle breeze. Emily's name was etched on a small memorial plaque. He approached, placed the shell by the stone and whispered, "Emily, if you're out there, I'm here." As the last light of sun dipped below the horizon, David's phone buzzed again. "Thank you. I feel lighter. Thank you for never forgetting me." David closed his eyes, tears streaming. For a second, he felt a presence, a warmth around him like someone hugging him gently. He exhaled, releasing a burden of grief he'd carried over the years. Then the phone pinged once more with a final message. "Goodbye, cousin. I'll always cherish our time." When he looked at his phone's screen again, the contact name changed from Emily's iPhone to just a random, blank, unassigned number. Moments later, it disconnected. He tried texting back, but the message failed. The number didn't exist. Yet, for the first time in 3 years, David felt a sense of peace. Whether it was an otherworldly phenomenon or some unexplainable glitch, he chooses to believe Emily's final words were truly hers. He returned home, stored the phone away, and realized the texts had vanished from his records as though they never existed. Only his memory and the calming sense of resolution remained. Each time he visits Emily's gravestone, he leaves flowers and the seashell in place, quietly thanking whatever cosmic chance gave him one last goodbye with the cousin he loved. Story 5, The Basement Renter. Evan lived in a small 2-story house he inherited from his grandfather. To make some side income, he decided to rent out the basement suite. It had a separate entrance, a small bathroom, and enough space for a single occupant. He advertised and soon met a young woman named Audrey, who barely asked questions before handing him the deposit. She seemed eager to move in. Evan gave her the keys and left it at that, figuring privacy was important. A couple of weeks in, he barely saw Audrey, except the occasional glimpse when she came in late at night or left early. Then, late on a Tuesday, Evan received a text. "Hey, sorry to bother, but the basement door is jammed. Could you help me open it?" He went down, found her in the hallway. The door truly was stuck. Together, they managed to yank it open. She thanked him, apologizing for the inconvenience. Something about her demeanor was off. She looked pale and anxious, as if she hadn't slept. But Evan brushed it away. Shortly after, he started receiving random texts that seemed meant for someone else. They arrived in the middle of the night from Audrey's phone number. "Audrey, I see them again. They're crawling near the drain. Please help me close it." Confused, he checked the time, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. A few minutes later, the text disappeared as if recalled. The next morning, Audrey would pretend nothing was wrong. As days passed, more cryptic messages arrived. "Audrey, they're whispering my name. I can't sleep. Are you upstairs? Maybe it's in the walls. Audrey, I put the bowl of salt just like you said, but it's not working." The footsteps keep circling. Evan confronted her gently. "Evan, I got your texts. Are you okay? Are you hearing noises?" She looked embarrassed, denied sending them, insisted everything was fine. Maybe her phone was glitching. But her eyes darted nervously. Then one night he was awoken at 3:30 a.m. by a banging sound from the basement. He checked his phone. "Audrey, help me. Something is locked in the closet." Heart pounding, he raced downstairs to the basement door, knocked repeatedly, calling her name. No answer. The banging stopped. Worried, he unlocked the door with his spare key. The basement lights flickered. Audrey was nowhere in sight. He peered around. A modest living space, minimal furnishings, a pulled-out sofa bed. On the far side, a small closet door sat ajar. He opened it carefully, just cleaning supplies, nothing more. Then one night, he was awoken at 3:30 in the morning by a banging sound from the basement. He checked his phone. "Help me! Something is locked in the closet." Heart pounding, he raced downstairs to the basement door, knocked repeatedly, calling her name. No answer. The banging stopped. Worried, he unlocked the door with his spare key. The basement lights flickered. Audrey was nowhere in sight. He peered around. A modest living space, minimal furnishings, a pulled-out sofa bed. On the far side, a small closet door sat ajar. He opened it carefully, just cleaning supplies, nothing more. Suddenly her phone, Audrey's phone, lay on the kitchen counter, vibrating with an incoming message from a contact named Unknown. The screen lit up. "You can't hide it forever. Show him the truth." Evan's skin prickled. He left the phone alone, not wanting to invade privacy. But the text unsettled him. Where was she? He locked up, returned upstairs, intending to call her in the morning. By morning, she was back, looking exhausted, avoiding eye contact. She apologized for sleepwalking and insisted she sometimes had nightmares. Evan tried to console her but felt uneasy. Later that evening, a massive thunderstorm rattled the neighborhood. Power flickered. Evan huddled in his living room, phone in hand. At around midnight, he received a new text from Audrey's number. No more illusions. Check under the basement floor, hurry. He didn't want to pry, but something about the urgency freaked him out. Then another text. He put them there before I moved in. I can smell it, please believe me. Evan's heart hammered in confusion. This was his grandfather's house, under the basement floor. Could Audrey be referencing some old rumor? Decades ago, townsfolk gossiped that his grandfather hid valuables or had a dark secret, but no real proof existed. The basement lights were still on, so he crept down. The storm raged outside, lightning illuminating the narrow windows. Nobody was in the main room. He approached an area of the floor near the heater. The tiles looked older, mismatched. Gathering courage, he pried one up with a screwdriver. Beneath, he found a patch of loose dirt. He dug a bit, feeling ridiculous. Then he hit something solid, a small wooden box, sealed tightly. Shaking, he opened it. Inside lay old letters, a yellowed photograph album and a few trinkets. Most alarmingly, a single worn-out diary inscribed with trembling handwriting. Flicking through, he realized it belonged to a woman from decades ago. The entries described captivity, secret visits from Evan's grandfather, who apparently let her stay in the basement. The writing devolved into pleas for help, describing a locked door, nights of terror. The final pages ended abruptly. Evan's stomach churned. Shaking, he opened it. Inside lay old letters, a yellowed photograph album and a few trinkets. Most alarmingly, a single worn-out diary inscribed with trembling handwriting. Flicking through, he realized it belonged to a woman from decades ago. The entries described captivity, secret visits from Evan's grandfather, who apparently let her stay in the basement. The writing devolved into pleas for help, describing a locked door, nights of terror. The final pages ended abruptly. Evan's stomach churned. Shocked, he took the box upstairs. He tried calling Audrey but got voicemail. Then a new text from her phone. "Do you see now? Spirits never left." Evan replied, "Where are you? This is huge. My grandfather never told me anything. We have to find out more." No response. Disoriented, he combed through the old diary, discovering references to wailing in the night, a chain on the door. The occupant's name was never mentioned, just the initial M. Could she have died down there? The next morning, Audrey was gone. Her belongings vanished. No trace of her in the basement except for a handwritten note taped to the fridge. "I only came here to help free her. She called to me. I did my part. Now it's your turn." Evan never heard from Audrey again. No forwarding address, no contact detail. He read those diaries repeatedly, each time feeling more nauseous about what might have happened. He eventually spoke with some older neighbors, who vaguely recalled hearing a rumor about his grandfather having a strange woman friend in the basement. But no facts. Police found nothing conclusive when asked. It was decades old. Any crime, if it happened, long overshadowed by time. The next morning, Audrey was gone. Her belongings vanished. No trace of her in the basement except for a handwritten note taped to the fridge. "I only came here to help free her. She called to me. I did my part. Now it's your turn." Evan never heard from Audrey again. No forwarding address, no contact detail. He read those diaries repeatedly, each time feeling more nauseous about what might have happened. He eventually spoke with some older neighbors, who vaguely recalled hearing a rumor about his grandfather having a strange woman friend in the basement. But no facts. Police found nothing conclusive when asked. It was decades old. Any crime, if it happened, long overshadowed by time. But the uneasy presence in the house wasn't so easily dismissed. Occasionally, in the quiet hours, Evan heard faint scraping sounds below. Calls to Audrey's phone remained unanswered. He removed the basement door entirely, as if that could quell the claustrophobic sense of secrecy. He sold off the house, unable to bear living there with the oppressive feeling. Yet he kept the diaries, the letters. Something about them felt like an urgent puzzle, an unresolved cry for justice. Even now, living in a different apartment, he wakes to nightmares of frantic knocks under the floor or text messages from an unknown number. Whenever thunder rumbles outside, he half expects his phone to buzz with Audrey's name, telling him once more to check below. He wonders if Audrey truly was some medium or if she was possessed by the spirit's anguish. The final line in the diary resonates in his mind. He said, "I must remain, but my spirit roams free when it storms." That sense of a wandering soul searching for release haunts him daily. He's never found Audrey, never solved the puzzle of who M was or how exactly his grandfather was involved. The only certainty, his phone stays on silent most nights, because every text beep in the darkness sends a jolt of terror through him, reminding him that some secrets are better left uncovered or else they latch onto anyone who dares to pry. I hope these 5 unsettling stories about text conversations made your skin crawl. Let me know which part of these stories gave you the biggest chill. And if you enjoyed tonight's journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispering Reapers. Stay safe out there. Reality sometimes hides in the most unexpected messages.